He's knocked around the business a little bit, so they got a little respect for him, and I think he legitimately, you know, hell, he might be a tough guy legitimately. I don't know. I never heard that, but if he can tell those younger guys, and they need an older guy, an experienced guy, to tell them to knock the crap off.
What we do know is that that WWE reached out to Swerve Strickland as well as FTR, who both said that they were happy with AEW. They also, from what's been told, Bobby Fish was trying to talk Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly for leaving, asking for their release from AEW to go back to WWE to reunite Undisputed Era there, and Cole and Kyle basically turned him down, told him no, they were happy with AEW, and plus both of them have about 4 years left on their deal. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Because WWE, they run a house show schedule too. AEW they don't really do that much, just except for house shows. I mean, for TV, right? And another thing about AEW that I think is working against them, kinda, they got too much talent. They got 130 talents under contract or agreement. I mean, they only got Dynamite's a 1 hour show.
2 hours.
2 hours. So they have 130 talents for 3 hours of TV right now. Now, I know they're working their way to a Ring of Honor. But I don't know, man. That's a lot of TV time and I don't know who's helping Tony Khan book. But he's got to be burnt out right now, I think. I mean, I don't know how you could keep it straight.
I mean, the cracks are showing that he is a little bit burned out or feels like he has a lot on his hands at the moment. You've been seeing it with either the quality of what he's doing or all the drama that is going on within AEW at the moment. But one stabling person within the AEW locker room throughout all of this has been Jon Moxley. He just regained the AEW World Championship, defeating Bryan Danielson in the Grand Slam Tournament of Champions finals to win his third AEW World Championship. As someone who has shared the locker room with Jon Moxley, do you think he's a good representative of AEW?
I do. Because the guys will listen to him. They'll listen to Bryan too. But Moxley, he's got a little sense about it. And he's knocked around the business a little bit. So they got a little respect for him. And I think he legitimately, hell, he might be a tough guy legitimately. I don't know. I never heard that. But if he can tell those younger guys, and they need an older guy, an experienced guy, to tell them to knock the crap off and do what they're told. I mean, that's if you got a job, you got to do the job. But I do think he's a good representative of AEW because the guys that listen to him. One thing I have noticed is that all the turmoil and all the furor over the CM Punk and the Bucks escapade is kind of dissipated.
Little stuff will come out every couple of days, like the report from Wade Keller of PW Torch that CM Punk, he believes CM Punk will not be returning to AEW. He thinks that they're going to do a buyout of his contract. What do you believe? Do you think that CM Punk will ever wrestle in AEW again?
I don't think so. I don't think he cares either. Because there's a guy that cares about the money. So he wants the buyout, and they could actually fight that and probably tie him up in court because I think Tony Khan's got a lot more money than CM Punk has. But I do think, and I can't shake this, I think CM Punk is going to sue them for some reason. I don't know why I think that, because he didn't have any hesitation about suing Colt Cabana. So now, and he sees a billionaire over there. And wow, if he sues him, maybe he'll do he'll do a settlement early. So I don't know. I hope not. The Bucks, I don't see them, but I don't know what he's going to do. He is really a wild card in all this. But the fans have stopped talking about him. They've stopped talking about the Bucks. So it's water under the dam. And I started to say when this happened, give it 2 weeks and it'll be like in the past. So as long as they don't do any more interviews, and Tony Khan had him, where it all started, Tony Khan had him on his scrum press conference, sitting right beside him. I've watched this every now and then. I have to watch Tony, and his eyes are like this, and he was, and he was shaking his head. Everything Punk said, "Oh yeah, makes." But he actually made the whole company look kind of bad, and that Tony would even allow that. So I mean, did he know how Punk was before, or did he just ignore that?
I think, I don't know. It seems like he was not aware at all of what was going down, what was going to happen.
Well, he's getting some good firsthand experience. So, but I think some of the guys around him could have told him that, and they may have told him that you have a little bit of a wild card in CM Punk. So be careful how you handle him, and especially when live mics are around.
Yeah.
And I don't think he realized. I don't know what he talked. I don't know what he even thinks about the business, but I know he loves the business. Tony Khan does, has a lot of respect for it, and that's why I kind of hate him to see him really get jacked around. And I think CM Punk was mad, and he didn't care who he jacked around. He just wanted to get back at those Bucks. And what is that in the total scheme of things? That's behind the scenes stuff. Go settle it backstage. Don't settle it out in front of people. Because, Tony Khan can't, he can't go along with it and agree with it and then all of a sudden suspend those other two guys at the same time. I think it made AEW look a little bit rinky-dink, and it made Tony Khan look indecisive. And you can't be indecisive and run a business, and especially in the wrestling business.
No.
Everybody else, they think they should be the main event every night, and it just gives. But what it does, it opens a door for all these fans to go on social media and just blast you.
Yeah.
So if I'm a fan, I don't even know who Tony Khan is, but all I'm reading is, well, he just sat there where CM Punk blasted the other guys and basically blasted the company, and he didn't do nothing. Well, that's what I'm thinking of him. I mean, he really tarnishes my image of Tony Khan, and I may not even know him from Adam's House Cat. But anyway, Tony's learning, and I hope he listens to some of his veterans backstage, like Moxley and like Brian, and hopefully they'll fill him in.